Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name's Christine, and in this video I'm going to be using stencils with my gel press. Now this video is part of a series that we've been doing, and we're building up texture on this origami paper to make collage sheets to use to cut up later and use on different projects. And so I'm going through the steps of building up layers and giving you different ideas of ways you can make these sheets. And so we are going to talk a little bit about stencils. Now, because my paper is 6 by 6 and I tend to use it for, say, die cutting or ripping up and stuff, I like smaller texture. I don't want like really big circles and then you have big blobs on your paper. I'm just trying to get bits of color, so smaller bits. However, with that being said, it still has to be large enough that when it's placed down and I put the paper on top, you can still get the paint through the little spots. So you don't want anything that's too tiny, or else, like, say, I have this stencil here. These spots are really thin, and to try and get all this detail when you're pressing your paper through, you won't get a lot. You'll probably get the circles maybe, but you won't get a lot of this design. So you want to use stencils that are a little larger in their openings. So I'm going to use a couple different stencils. So for this, I'm going to use some brilliant yellow green, and I'm going to go right on top of this. My plate is dry, and if I do pick up some of the color in the pull, that's just a bonus. So I've got some of that and bright aqua green. For this, I like to use Liquitex Basics paints because you get a lot in the bottle. Whereas when I use Dina's paints, it's a lot smaller bottle. I mean, you could always buy more, but I just use the Liquitex Basics. Now, I don't need to cover the whole thing if I don't have enough paint, but I probably do have enough paint to sort of cover it. I'll just sort of do that. I don't want the paint too thick. So I put the paint down. Now I'm going to put my stencil into the paint, and then I'm going to get a sheet of paper. So here's one that I've already started getting some different inks on. And because it's a 6 by 6, it fits in there nicely. And then just with my fingers, I'm pushing down so the paper sort of goes through the stencil and into that paint. And if I don't get a perfect pull, like, that's all the better. I'm just trying to get some paint transferred on. So there you see, so now I have these blotches of the green and the turquoise on the sheet. So when you cut it into smaller areas, you'll get a bit more interesting look. So then what happens is you pull this off, and you can see there's a design there. So I'm going to get a sheet that I haven't done anything on yet, and I'm going to put it on. And then we'll pull it off. And you can see that the design gets transferred through as well. So I can roll a bit more paint that I have just on my thing. Let's try, we have this design. Let's see what happens. I've got this sheet here. Just burnishing it with my fingers. And I got another little splatter effect there. Then I can pull this up. And this time, let's see, I'm going to, here's the page I had. I'm going to put it on. Because the paint's not as thick, I'm not concerned with it covering up everything that I previously did. And so that looks really cool, I think. It brought up some of the purples and that, and then added more with the greens. And then with the color of the paper, that red color poking through, I think it's looking really cool. I like that one. And so even here, say around the edge, you know, you can always just grab another stencil, and because he doesn't have to be the full, you don't have to do the full 6x6 square. We're just grabbing whatever paint we can. So there's some squares there. That's sort of cool. I'll move it over here. Here's a purple one. Let's see, get some green and turquoise over that. And so with like all of this, it's just experimenting with color, experimenting with stencils, and then you can come back, and I have this sheet here. I'm gonna just put it on, see what happens. So it's just picked up a bit of that green, so I'm gonna lay it over here. See if I can get any more. A little bit more. And then what I'll eventually do, which I've shown you in other videos, is I will just put down like a white or titanium buff paint over this and try and just pull more of that color off. But I've shown you that technique in a previous video. So as I said, this video is part of a series. I've already done a few videos before this, and there's going to be more to come because I'm going to be showing you how you can build layers and layers. And I make these sheets in advance, so then when I go to do anything, I have all these papers all ready to go. I don't have to start from scratch. So anyway, that is a couple tips on using stencils with your gel press to create different textures and designs on your pages. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.